Hi guys, it's Byzantine. How are you doing? Today I come to you with a different kind of video, and I will have to tell you how I came up with this video. It was kind of video, oh my gosh, video, not an idio. See, I'm full of mistakes as usual. And well, today's video is gonna be about cheap perfumes. And recently I've been called like Chanel boy a few times, and people tell me, oh, your whole Instagram is all about Chanel. By the way, please follow me on Instagram. But it's not only about Chanel, and it's not only about perfumes, but it happened to the extent that I feel kind of guilty to tell people what I'm using. And like yesterday somebody asked me like, oh, you smell nice, what are you wearing? And you know I had a hard time to spit out of my mouth that it's Chanel, Chance au Vivre. And I kind of feel guilty that people put me into the box, oh, you're so, I don't know, bougie or a snob. Well, some people call me like Chanel snob, like for the shits and giggles purposes. But yeah, I shouldn't feel guilty. Like, I earned this money and I spent it on perfumes. And let me tell you something, like, my road to liking these expensive fragrances was paved by trying many cheaper fragrances. And that's why I decided to show you like a list of, I don't know, over five cheap but very good fragrances that unfortunately didn't work with me, with what I'm doing, with the pace of my life. But they're amazing. They are really amazing. But we just you know uh fall apart, as I could say, probably, because this wasn't my vibe, but I appreciate them as perfumes. Having said that, let's move to the list. Oh, and I'm gonna be showing you the fragrances on notino.co.uk. This video is not sponsored by any means. I'm too small a YouTuber to be sponsored by anybody. And it's not sponsored by Samsung. I have this laptop, can you imagine, for like 10 years or so. I got it when I was starting my uni, when I was like 19, 20, and I'm almost 29. So, yeah, this laptop has been with me ever since. And, it's not the fastest laptop. I hope it's not gonna lag or something, but I will show you on my laptop. It's a different kind of video what I suggest you. And why I chose the Notino is because probably it's available in, well, this is the website that works in many countries. Plus, they have one of the best prices on the internet, but some of the fragrances you can find even cheaper than on notino.co.uk, because I can find some of the fragrances cheaper on Notino PL in Poland, and you can probably find some of the fragrances even cheaper in drugstore. So let's start with the list of the great cheap perfumes, cheapies but goodies. So I tried to open the cards in here. Maybe some of you will be able to see what I have to offer. And comparing to Chanel, I'm starting with Lanvin Oxygène. This is a very nice fragrance. This is like fresh aquatic but with a milky floral quality. And I will show you the price. Look at the price. It's 1680 for 75 milliliters, which is great. And why, well, what's the criteria for cheapy to me? Well, let's say, like I talked about Chanel, and usually many of the higher end brands, but I wouldn't say they're the highest end brands, because of course niche is gonna be even more expensive, and even the mainstream is gonna be more expensive. But more or less, the designer higher end brands fragrances start around 60-70 pounds per the smallest quantities. And comparing to that, like 1680 is great. So this is like a floral aquatic, but it has a milky quality. It has kind of like a milk note. I kind of think that it's also due to the sandalwood, and this one is amazing. It's actually quite strong. I wouldn't recommend it for summer though. It can be a little bit heady for summer, but right now for spring, and I don't know if you saw the ad with Giselle Bundchen. Yeah, it's a nice one, and to me, it smells like 90s, totally 90s vibe. And the bottle is horribly ugly, I must admit. It's not my type of the aesthetic of the bottle. It looks nice in here, but it has a lot of 90s into it, which is, oh, let's do something new, but keep it very serene and clean lines and zen. To me, this is very 90s fragrance, and but it's very nice. If you're looking for a great quality aquatic, go for it. I think that aquatic is neglected group of fragrances, but I'm pretty sure that there are gonna be more and more fragrances, aquatic fragrances appearing, because 90s are very on trend for a few years now. And Mugler released like the limited edition of Alien, which is floral aquatic, recently called Alien Mirage. And I think there are gonna be more aquatics appearing. So check out L'Envol Oxygène. Another one on the list is this beauty, and this is truly a beauty. Another one bottle that is not really my cup of tea, but I got a great deal one time when I had it in Poland. And this is Salvador Dali Sunrise in Kadax. Um, this is very similar vibe to Eau de Merveille, and I will tell you, I had both, and I think this one even lasts longer. And please don't read the comments and opinions on Fragrantica, and don't take them too much to your heart, because this fragrance, even though it seems very subtle, but I could smell it after the whole day, and my chemistry works way different. Like the lightest fragrances, sometimes they last the longest, and people would tell you on Fragrantica that this doesn't last very long, but it lasted very long on me. I shared this fragrance with Agata Vasilenko because I had like this huge bottle, and she really wanted to try it, and I shared like the half a bottle with her. So it's very nice. It's very nice quality. What does it smell like? It's about ambergris. I don't know how do you pronounce it. And it's very resinous. It smells to me like the beach, with a lot of salty quality, kind of sticky, a little bit sweet, very original. And look at this price, it's very good. And I tell you, in Poland I got it even cheaper. Like, to be honest with you, I probably paid like, I don't know, 50-60 zlotys or even less for the highest quantity. Check this out, definitely. Another one, great, from a great brand that I love. This brand, Lalique is so underrated, because they make unique, very unique fragrances, but they're not weird fragrances. They're amazing, and you could wear them every day. But I chose this one because it's very underrated, and many of you could use it and love it. It's Lalique Amethyst, and it's all about the black forest fruits. Like, to me, it's a blackberry. If you know this blackberry fragrance from Yves Rocher, it's not very similar, but it's the similar vibe. It's all about the blackberry. It's the floral, fruity fragrance. The lasting power, well, I'm not sure about it. That it lasts very, very, very long, but it's a very nice fragrance. It's not a huge sillage, but you can smell it after many hours. And look at this color. It's my favorite color. like by the way. Yeah, it's a very nice color and it's a really great quality. Please invest in Lalique. It's very underrated brand if it comes to fragrances, but it's money well spent. Another one, it's unavailable right now, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be available at some point. If not, you can get it on Amazon, on eBay. You can get it probably in your local perfumery. But it's the fragrance with history. It's almost as long as old as Chanel Number 5, and I think it's a little bit different, maybe a little bit better. Like Lanier Smith said that it's more jazzy. Lanier Smith has his YouTube channel as well. I'm gonna link it down in a down bar. That it's more jazzy than Chanel Number 5, and probably it is. It's very comforting. It's like a clean, soapy scent, and it's amazing. It lasts very long. It projects very well. And I had this weird plan sometime that I would buy the rights from Coty to Lemon, and I will remarket it and I will make it grand and glorious again because it's very underrated and it's very great fragrances. And how much it costs? Well, recently at Boots in the UK, I could see the largest quantity, which is 50 ml, for 790 something pounds, which is very good price. And in Poland, I could get it even cheaper, to be honest with you. Yeah, so Lemon from Coty, similar vibe to Chanel Number 5, less waxy notes, more soapy notes, not animalic at all by any means. It's just like this cloud. You know what I did at some point? I sprayed my bed sheets with this and it was the greatest sleep ever and I was smelling amazing. I had the deodorant, I had the powder, the talcum powder from it. I loved it. I really loved it. Yeah, it's one of my loves. I used so many bottles of this one. It's amazing. Next one is Cabotine de Grèce. You know, the Madame Grèce fashion house is amazing. The history is amazing. She was a sculptor, sorry, and she look at the price though, and she created like this very structural, sculptural, gathered pieces. It's amazing when you look at it. There, you know, it's not the. I don't think they make anything right now if it comes to fashion, but you know there are creations where they're very up to date ever since they were made. So this fragrance is kind of soapy sour thing. Like I got many compliments for this one. It wasn't totally my vibe. Many people say that it's similar to Discontinued Beauty from Dior, which is Teinte Poison. I can tell you that because I've never smelled Teinte Poison, but it's amazing. It's clean. It's very long lasting. It's like this really soapy kind of thing. Well, we didn't stick together for long. I used only one bottle, but it's money well spent, really money well spent. And please check this one out. The next one is this one. And you see the price is quite high, but look at the quantity you get. And I will tell you, this is one of the fragrances that probably not many of you will like. It's quite acquired taste. It's very heavy on patchouli. And to me, it always smelled like it was the vibe of the stockings, like women's stocking tights, like this. I know it's weird to describe the fabric to the fragrance, but to me, this is like the fragrance interpretation of women's nylon stockings. I don't know why. There's something kind of sexy to it, but it's like this dim fragrance. It's not very screechy. It's very smooth, but you know, I will tell you that it's a little bit fussy if it comes to a fragrance. because sometimes it smells very dirty, like almost urine like, because this is how the patchouli can smell like. Sometimes the Tom Ford fragrances could smell like this, especially if you smell the sprayer, they can smell like this, but when you spray them on your skin they don't smell like this. But this fragrance has this like dirty quality sometimes, but sometimes it's like the most like luxurious patchouli sexy, I would call it sexy, maybe not sexy for me, but I can see that it's sexy for somebody in this very typical sexy vibe. But it's a very unique piece from actually celebrity. Look, Sean John, Puff Diddy, Puff Puff Diddy, Puff Diddy, yeah, the Puff, um the rapper. And yeah, you should check this one out. It's very hard for me to describe this one. My mother had this one and she didn't like it, probably because it had this dirty quality. And in my family, we love our musky, clean fragrances. Like, yeah, this is our vibe. And check this one out. Like, it's not that much of a money and you can get it even cheaper if you could get somewhere like the smaller quantity. I think that, well, let me check if it's available in a gift set, because I know that it was available. Sorry, it's me in the bottom. It was available in a gift set. No, it doesn't show me, and I don't want to take too much time. And you could get it even cheaper, trust me. But it's a very interesting fragrance in a collection that you can have. Next one, Chanson d'Or, which means the song of the water. And it's a great fragrance for summer, very long lasting, clean. I would say if you like green tea from Elizabeth Arden, or like the tea fragrances, you would love this one. I would say it's like this aquatic, green aquatic fragrance. Um, well, the name Chanson d'Eau, which means the song of the water. Um, it's it's a great investment, to be honest with you. I used it in the summer and I loved it. I felt clean, fresh, energized. Uh, if I had to compare it to something, it's like I would compare it to many green tea fragrances. Elizabeth Arden green tea. I would compare it to Versens from Versace. It's not the Chanel Chance au Fraîche, no, it's far from that. Well, I know Chance au Fraîche by heart, but it's far from this one. But it's a nice fragrance, just everyday, freshen up fragrance. It's great and it's not very expensive, as you can see. And don't buy this one in your perfumeries or drugstores, because it's always way too expensive there. You can get it cheaper online, not even on Notino, somewhere else. The next one, yeah, and probably the last one, is the most powerhouse fragrance on the list, and it's a fragrance with history, and it's Cacharel Lulu. And yeah, this is the fragrance that has one of my favorite notes, which is heliotrope, and that's why it has this kind of vibration. I don't know if I told you about the heliotrope, but I love this note, to be honest with you. And recently I purchased like a gem. I found it somewhere. I will show it. This is Bulgari Omni Crystalline, but EDP version, and it has the heliotrope note, the opposite to the EDT version. But I don't want to like say anything or too much about this one, because I want to make a video about Italian brands fragrances, because they have a lot in common. But let's go back to Lulu. Lulu is very similar. I would even say that the huge inspiration to Lulu is the fragrance called Cornubia by Penhaligon's. Penhaligon's is the English brand of fragrances, very old traditional English brand. And Oh, this is a powerhouse fragrance, and I won't tell you how it smells like exactly. It's incensey, it's plummy, fruity, floral. It's a lot of going on. But if you like the vintage kind of fragrances, this is the most vintage like smelling fragrance on the lists. And it's a great fragrance, especially for the colder months. But you can always, instead of spraying it on your neck, you can spray it in the crooks of your elbows, the arms, and just one spray on each, and you'll be good to go. It's a nice one. It's a really nice one. It's not my cup of tea. Like, I had it, but I didn't feel this vibe. It's not my cup of tea. But before I was into fragrances, my mother had the miniature of this one, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? She never used it though, but it was mesmerizing. And this fragrance is really mesmerizing, probably because of the heliotrope note. So yes, check this out. This was my list. And as you can see, this video was horribly long, almost 20 minutes. But I hope you enjoy it. I'm pretty sure, I hope that everybody will watch it fully. But if not, I hope that you watched at least some of it, because these were my cheaper suggestions of the fragrances, and I will tell you that these fragrances are good. I approve them. Yeah, like, you need my approval. Ha ha ha. No, you don't. And see you next time. I guess please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. Kisses. Mwah.